What's up, everybody? I'm Sly The Movie Guy, and here's my movie review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, directed by Peter Ramsey, Robert Persichetti Jr., and Rodney Rothman, starred Shameik Moore, Jake Jackson, Hailee Steinfeld, Hailee, Nicolas Cage, and the rest of the other cast and crew. And in this film, bitten by a radioactive spider, Miles Morales becomes the Spider-Man of his reality and crosses paths with his counterparts from other dimensions to stop a threat to all reality. Out the gates, this movie is amazing. From storytelling to animation to characters. Let me start off with the storyline. The storyline, is the one that really blew me away how they did it. Like, with Miles Morales' character, we learned so much about him. Like his relationship with his dad, which is difficult. You see that in this film, and it makes you actually care for Miles Morales because you want to see them have a good relationship. And that part was really the part that really got me, like, hit me on the chest. I couldn't believe how they did that. And later when we see him going to school he doesn't want to be in because it's almost like the advanced school, like for like smart kids and stuff like that. He don't feel like he's part of that environment. And you actually feel for Miles Morales, and you feel for him more like when he gets bitten by a spider by accident. It's the part that really got me. It reminded me so much of Peter Parker's story and the first two Raimi films. You actually care for this character so much that when things happen to him, you really care for this character. It really they did it so well, and pretty much they make us care for this character more, like when he gets to meet these other spider characters and stuff in this film, that it makes you care for him because, like, when things like when they like the threat in New York, like the Kingpin, which he's the main antagonist, when he's doing stuff and like that, you really care for Miles Morales because now he has these spider powers just like the rest of them. He's still enjoy like what I do and stuff here and there. What happens? What do I do? Am I this and that? He's a kid, so all this is new to him, and that's the part I really like, because if you're a teenager, you get bit by a spider, that'll be kind of like a new thing for you, because this could be like a nightmare. You like, is this something I have to do? It's really like investing. That's what I like about That's what I like about the Spider-Man storyline. It's just like a regular old kid just get bit by a spider, so it's not like. It's not like where you get bit by a spider, like, woohoo, it's fun, everything else. No, this is like a serious situation. And this movie does take itself serious. Even though it's fun and have all these colorful elements here, it takes itself very serious. And this is where I say, as an adult, I really appreciate this film. Really puts this like adult theme here. And that's really the part I really like about this film. It has this really neat balance of, like, for kids and adults, and this movie balanced those two things very well. And the tone is just 2 thumbs up. The tone is just like a complete perfect balance of a comic book film, because some comic book films have a hard time balancing that fun and dark there, but this film does that, like, blended in perfectly well. That's what I like about the tone and the storyline in here. It's really absolutely freaking awesome. The writing and directing it puts a smile on my face. The directing in this film and the storyline is just absolutely bad. It's very cohesive. That's what I like about it. It does not stay off focus, because when we learn about Miles Morales' storyline, it just is really good. And then the Spider-Man stuff is really awesome. How they incorporate all the Spider-Man characters with Miles Morales, talk about their story, which is unique. How they put, like, when each of them show up, they show like their story and their background in the comic book way, which I've never seen any from a live action or animation comic book film. I never seen them do that, and this will really push it like you're reading the comic books. Cause I never read the Miles Morales comic book, but now I'm very intrigued on reading the Miles Morales comic books. And they did a phenomenal job, which leads me on to the animation, to the colors and the drawings of how they did it. This is what I like. The animation here is absolutely incredible. It looks good. The The colors looks fantastic. It's like you're reading the Spider-Man comic books. It brings on nostalgia, like when you read like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, which is all that's in there. And that's what I like about it. The animation of it looks absolutely great. The way they did it, like in a comic book design form on certain parts of the film, it's just so awesome. With the action, which I say the action here is really phenomenally done well here. It's like the action is like just like what you see, because when you read the Spider-Man comic books, you wonder what the action looks like in live action or in animation, and it really works well here. The action and the animation colors looks really awesome. The colors just like, I love where if you can make the Spider-Man, because all Spider-Man comics are like fun and stuff, even though with the series vibe, it still should have that little bit of that fun tone to it with the colors and everything, and it is absolutely great from start to finish for the colors and the animation. Characters, I love how they did the characters, like Shameik Moore as voiced Miles Morales does a really phenomenal job. Jake Jackson does a phenomenal job, Peter Parker / Spider-Man. What I like about this is with their relationship is where Peter Parker's relationship with Miles Morales, he's telling them stuff all about his life and everything, and that was really done well. Their chemistry was absolutely a blast. Every time that was on screen, that was just so investing, and it's very impactful. There's some meaningful stuff there with that, and I really appreciated that more in this film, because I always like to see older, like the original Spider-Man talking to the new ones. It's just, it really makes the story very interesting. Then we get the interesting story on Spider-Gwen, which is really great. I really appreciate that. Then we get this, which is voiced by Hailee Steinfeld, which she does a phenomenal job. And we also get Nicolas Cage as the Spider-Noir, which he voiced the character. And that will leads me on to the humor. The humor on the Spider-Noir was funny. I wish we got more of him. It was really absolutely funny. I couldn't believe how funny I thought this character was. And it's not just him. The humor worked on with all the characters in the film. The humor was absolutely funny here. It was just, there's something fun about the humor here. It balanced out really well with the fun and tone in this movie. The humor is absolutely funny. I laughed. Like, this movie is just so funny with the storyline, because when the characters do talk about each other, it's so many funny one-liners here in this film that I can't believe how funny this film was. That's what I like about Spider-Man's movies. If you can add some great humor in it, it really works. And I believe that adults and kids can relate to that in this movie. So, Mahershala Ali as the Prowler was so freaking awesome. We get to see a Prowler on Spider-Man screen. I finally get to see the Prowler, because it's been talked about this, the Prowler is going to be in a Spider-Man film, and we finally got it in the animation film. So Mahershala Ali does a freaking phenomenal well. One of the cast members I forgot to mention earlier on in my review, Liev Schreiber as the Kingpin. They give like a good backstory on the Kingpin. We see the Kingpin doing evil stuff. His backstory not so much like out there, but him as the Kingpin is really good. I really like the Liev Schreiber's voice as the Kingpin. It was very intriguing. The story with Kingpin, you kind of will see that in this movie, which I'm not going to spoil, but you see stuff that Kingpin's backstory and on a little. You see like during the storyline, you get to see what Kingpin's trying to go after, even though it's villainous. You get to see that in this film, and they did that a little bit. They did that well, and I really appreciate that part in this film. Like I said, this film takes itself serious. That's what I like about it. So basically, since it's all this fun, but there's some stuff in here that I just can't believe they went for it in animation. Especially, it's not like too violent or whatever, but it has these moments where you're just like, whoa. Like in the beginning of the film, where Miles Morales looks at something that tragic happens and all the New Yorks and stuff, that really hits me. It's like, wow, and this is just an animation film. How do they incorporate it? It's like, wow, you can't believe that they put all that in this film. And it's just, like, certain scenes I just can't believe, especially with one of the action scenes in the finale and the third act in the film. It like they never hold back. And this is an animation film, so why they didn't hold back, which I really like, because that's what Spider-Man films I like, what they do. It reminds me so much of the first two Spider-Man films. If like the Sam Raimi with Green Goblin just tearing Spider-Man apart, you like that scene, and then the train scene with Spider-Man and then Doc Ock and stuff. It's just so many scenes that just like it put you like it had this like this intense like moments. It just like that in the Spider-Man film. That's the Spider-Man film, and it's just hit like on different caliber in so many levels. It does everything. So I'm excited as a Spider-Man fan to say this movie is a complete blast from start to finish. It is so freaking phenomenal. And in the credit scene, I'll let you go see that. It's really good. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a sequel to one of the Spider-Mans that they show. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's really neat. And I forgot to mention, rest in peace, Stan Lee. Like this cameo, it was hard for me to just seeing the Stan Lee cameo and just I'm thinking about the man. I really miss him so much. The man did so much. I'm a Spider-Man fan. He created the character, so it put a smile on my face, but a little bit almost made me tear up. So that was one of the things I liked. Overall, this movie is great. This is one of the best movies of 2018. I don't know where I say it's better, Spider-Man 2 or that. It all depends on when I rank the Spider-Man films. But over this movie, it's just, I loved it so much. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse absolutely gets an A+. Woo! Oh, man. This is the third A+ I think I gave this year. This is a blast. I could watch the movie 3 or 4 times. This is the best Spider-Man movie. This is good. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this movie. I would love to know where's your favorite scenes in this movie. What's your favorite parts in this movie? This movie was just it was everything I wanted out of the Spider-Man movie. So I like it. It's so much. It was great. Everything. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, click thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, click subscribe and the bell button. That's like I see you next time on Sly the Movie Guy. Peace.